So I've been getting this question a lot. I'm asked it more and more. Is America more in danger today than we were on September 10th, 2001? Sadly, the only answer that I can come up with is yes. And the reason lands solely on Joe Biden's ever hunched over shoulders. The people in charge of the White House now are all anti-military. When it comes to foreign policy under Joe Biden, the State Department controls everything, even the military. And making the mistake of giving diplomats total control over military strategy extends far beyond just Afghanistan. This is why Joe Biden is so dangerous. Diplomats only want to negotiate. They will never use force, and I mean never. When you are dealing with violent jihadists that can't be trusted, by the way, negotiations don't work. Only brute force and the show of overwhelming strength will keep our enemies in check. And that doesn't go for just the terrorists. It also goes for Iran and North Korea and Russia and China, all of our enemies. Just listen to the weakness we get from this administration one day after we lost 13 U.S. warriors at a time when we should be showing strength.
The mission there being performed is dangerous, and now it's come with a significant loss of American personnel. But it's a worthy mission.
Clearly, there was a break in the security process here. There's no question about that.
What I can say is that this has been a highly effective operation.
Highly effective operation? Does that inspire any confidence at all? That's delusional and a flat-out lie, by the way. With this administration, there is no will to fight. Everything they do is about optics and preventing failure. And here's my promise to you. When you fear failure and act accordingly, failure will be the only outcome. Just look at the failure in Afghanistan at every level. Team Biden knows it failed. That's why today, Joe Biden wouldn't take questions on it and listen as his babysitters aggressively manhandle the media straight out of the room.
I'm not going to take any questions because of the Prime Minister being here on Afghanistan now, but I'll be available at another time. Thank you very much, folks.
It is absolutely obnoxious, folks. On Biden's watch, over 160 innocent people died yesterday. Jihadis killed 13 of our military men. And I want you to look at some of the identities revealed today. Fallen Marines and a fallen Navy medic, young men, not even 25 yet. They never should have been put in the position to face death through all of this. Their commanders, their commander-in-chief, failed them. And Joe Biden shows no remorse nor empathy for these men and their families. In fact, he laughed as his staff shoved reporters away from him today. He laughs. After refusing to take questions, he laughs it off. There's nothing funny about this. So yes, with a puppet like Joe Biden, taking marching orders from weak State Department pacifists like Obama's shadow commander-in-chief, Susan Rice, a woman trained by Barack Obama, by the way, to take pleasure in America's failure, our enemies will flourish. They are flourishing now. Joe Biden made the horrific decision to leave ISIS fighters in Afghan prisons, who, as soon as we cut and run, the Taliban freed.
In terms of ISIS-K, how many ISIS-K prisoners were left at Bagram and are believed to have been released from the prison there, and why weren't they removed before the U.S. pulled out to someplace like Gitmo?
Well, I don't know the exact number. Clearly, it's in the thousands.
Thousands of terrorists, ISIS fighters, who want nothing more than to kill Americans. Thousands, he admits. Not only did we allow our enemies to return triumphantly, but we asked those enemies to provide security for us. Think about this. The Taliban, a terror group, we now know they subcontracted the task of securing the airport perimeter to the Haqqani network of, you guessed it, more terrorists to do what? Protect us from other terrorists. Are we surprised an ISIS suicide bomber made it past so-called security? How can Team Biden be so delusional? The Taliban freed ISIS fighters, and yet they still have confidence in working with the Taliban?
There was a lot of effort being done, which included, as the general said, included daily communication with the Taliban about the nature of the threat and sharing with them the appropriate, relevant information about what we knew.
That includes reaching out to the Taliban, who are actually providing the outer security cordon around the airfield, to make sure they know what we expect them to do to protect us. And we will continue to coordinate with them as they go forward.
A part of that would certainly be having a coordinated approach and engagement with the Taliban. We will need to coordinate with the Taliban.
I'm telling you, this is Mickey Mouse and Daffy Duck meets the Keystone Cops. It really is, and now we've got Americans dead because of it. It doesn't take a foreign policy expert to know that trusting the Taliban is a bad idea. According to an NBC report today, the new Taliban head of security in Kabul is wanted by the USA as a terrorist with a $5 million bounty on his head. This is the guy leading the Taliban, guarding the perimeter of the airport and so-called protecting U.S. troops. The State Department says this man, quote, has also acted on behalf of al-Qaeda and has been linked to al-Qaeda terrorist operations. That's the guy in charge of security? The sheer obliviousness of the people in charge of America today is astounding. The more I look at what happened, the more I believe the Taliban is involved with this attack. The blast was as big as it gets. A suicide bomber with that much explosives strapped to his body doesn't just wander in past checkpoints, which means this ISIS-K group we're being told is responsible may just be the straw man for who's really behind this. And that could be, the possibility is, it's the Taliban.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.